It's possible that we made it to the third round.
Wow.
Because the first two apparently did well. Thank you for watching. This is Real Christians, right?
Absolutely.
And we talk about things that we as Christians struggle with, along with sharing ourselves. We're being transparent, because the only way to get to the core of why we're here is really disassembling our old self and reassembling with the new self. We've talked about a lot of things in the past. Today, we've got a list of things to talk about. How do we look at other people who are Christians? And you might feel a little judgmental. You might go, oh, my brand is this. My brand. Everybody likes their own brand.
Oh, everyone likes their own brand, don't they? This is magic.
Can be funny if you know where that's coming from. But when somebody else shares their brand with you, you're like, oh, what was that? So what would you say to people who come across other Christians that do it a little differently?
Well, one, we're all different and unique. That's the first thing we need to realize. I don't think about how other people are doing things, because I'm not in their shoes. I'm not where they're at. I'm not where their walk is. And we're all in different stages. And if I get to the point, we're all Christians. So it's not like we're different in that sense. It's just we might be in a different stage of our Christian walk. Because the Bible's very clear that you start out as a baby where you're crawling. You got to learn to crawl before you can even walk, and walk before you can run. And in that, how that transpires into what someone worships like, or what are they like, that's kind of that's I guess what you're getting to as different kinds of Christians. Because I know growing up, and there's many people out there who come on Sunday mornings to church, and that's all you see of them. They're not part of groups. They're not doing anything else. And they're the kind that will take their Bible out to read during church, and then they'll put it up, for the rest of the week. That's a baby Christian to me, or a seeking person, in my opinion. They're not to that point where they're being fed. That's one type. Then you have another type who's on the other spectrum, where it just engulfs their life, and almost like you just need to chill out a little bit kind of deal. But that's a whole different other person. So I don't judge. I don't do anything along those lines. Just knowing that there's different stages, and that everybody is differently with where they're at.
And maybe it is even a cooling off period that happens, because when I'm on fire, I would be pretty certain that people are like, what's gotten into Doug, and when I'm struggling, it's different. I'm different. So, trying to have this balance, I think, a lot of us out there who are kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. And, God is, to me, I look at it as the true stability, right? So I pray for helping me to temper, even balance, so that when I'm approached, like in traffic yesterday on the way home, trying to get on, and this person literally, I was like, oh yeah, you're about to run me off the road. Oh my gosh, I think we're going to get an accident. And I put on the brakes a little bit and let them go in front of me. And that first, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then I caught eye contact with that person, and they were smiling, and I smiled back. I went, what are you doing, man? You almost ran me off the road. And that was the moment I went, what is going? I'm smiling at this guy, giving him an almost, you crazy, man. I mean, gosh, you're good. I saw you. You didn't want to yield. We're good. That's how I felt. And that was different, because normally I'd be like, son of a, would come out, and I go, do you not realize I'm right here? You could have killed us both. And I would have been angry and carried it probably for another 15 or 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, the one thing I will say, we're all on this roller coaster ride. And I don't know if that ever really goes away, Doug, because I'll even catch myself, as long as I've been in the Word, I'll still catch my times of seasons where, I really struggle to even go into God's Word at times. And it's just like, but then there's times when I'm on fire and I can't get enough of it, and so it's very odd. And sometimes you feel God's away. Sometimes you feel God's really close to you. And we know in our mind that God is still there no matter what, but it just feels this way. And that's, and so we're going to be on this roller coaster, but I think that's also part of growing.
Mm-hmm. That's what I felt like, that I had reached a different level. And now I'm like, okay, don't go back down. You want to go, all right, let's. That means the next person that cuts me off has a better chance of me smiling at them and going, cool, dude, you're good, opposed to, how dare you? Who am I? I mean, that's the thing, that the anger, I got anger issues. I thought I'd be in a different place in life than I am now. And for a while, I felt like, what did I do to deserve this? Why? I had my path set. Everything was going good for 30 years. And then, boom, I found myself. So I go, I mean, now that I'm at this stage of my life in Christianity and my walk with God, and I'm ratcheting it up, and we were talking about different kinds of Christians, it really does, it seems like, after you said that, yeah, they're different at different levels, and you never know. And guess what? They could have ratcheted down, but they're still in Christian, and they still fear God and love God. But I will say that I felt good about that, and I'm learning to look at other Christians in a way that is less judgmental and more curious.
Yeah. No, I think you're absolutely right, and I think it's a good way of doing that. But then we're also here to help one another out during those times as well. Because when I feel like I'm getting farther away, or that drag, I tend to go and be around more Christians, more brothers and sisters that are like me, just to kind of make sure I'm staying on the path, because it's real easy to detract. And then once you detract, man, it is so hard to get back into the whole scheme. COVID did that to churches and people out there who went home watching church online, who might have even been really involved in a small group, that has never come back.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous, because we're told, don't forsake the assembly, and that's going to help part of that growing aspect, to help smoothen out that line, versus having the big swings.
Yeah. I the swings are the thing that I'm still working on. And I think that comes with time.
It does.
That absorbing, you kind of be a buffer. Like something comes in, you go, okay, I'm not going to instantly go, can you what they just said, I'll tell you you kind of go, no, I'm going to buffer it. Maybe I don't feel compelled to relay or expound upon it. Let it sit and ferment for a little while.
Yeah.
That's hard for me. For a lot of people that are a little more introverts, might go, I don't hardly ever do that. I go, well, I'm a little different. I kind of go, I guess you'd say, you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
And it's that maturity level of kind of, being less judgmental and more forgiving and more open to learning how to communicate with different kinds of people.
Yeah. Well, and the one that just kind of came to my mind now is the holier than thou Christian. Have you ever experienced those guys?
Yeah.
They think they've got it all figured out, and they look at you and judge you by your acts, and then they start using the rules like we talked in the previous episode. It's like, well, you shouldn't be doing that, and you shouldn't be doing that, and getting into the whole legalistic thing. And they're like, what, are you better than me by doing that, guys? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And that really turns me off.
Yeah. Hey, if anything we're talking about today, resonates to anybody out there, we would encourage you to dap the like button and subscribe to the content, and let us know what you think. We do want participation, and we hope that what we're doing, we're embarking on some new territory. We got the studio. You like the orange background. We have a new table. We're not sitting on the couch and chair anymore. So we're trying some new things because we believe that there is merit to what we're doing. So if you agree, go ahead and boop the like button for us.